Good morning, people. Good morning. This is again another segment from Mr. Sobjani. Today we are going to talk about why Fighter is underperforming in the Indian box office, whereas it is doing stellar business worldwide, globally. New Zealand, it's the number one movie, but still, why is Fighter not working in India as well as we felt it would, right? So we are going to talk about all the factors which are affecting this movie, and I hope you like this segment because I don't think anybody is actually talking about the right reason. And this no trade analyst, no pundit, movie pundit, or anybody else can go ahead and tell you why Fighter is not working. This only a person, a common man on the streets, he knows exactly why is this movie underperforming, despite it probably being, I would say, when it comes to patriotic movies, it is a benchmark. It is something which we will say where in the years to come that this was these were patriotic movies pre-fighter and these were patriotic movies post-fighter. It is so good. And I'll be very frank with you, I am not a big fan of Siddharth Anand. I'm a massive fan of Hrithik Roshan, but I'm not a big fan of Siddharth Anand, and I don't cater to his brand of movies, to his kind of movies. I don't rush to the hall to watch his kind of movies. But there was something engaging in his promos in the trailer which I felt was interesting enough, and I went and watched it and I was really surprised. It is really one of a kind movie which addresses so many things that I just cannot put in words how good Fighter is. It is only something which you can experience when you go to a hall and watch it. But why is it not working? Right? And I will be telling you about certain movies which worked during this time and why it worked. Okay, it will be a very simple segment. I'm not going to go ahead and bloat figures and all that. It's a simple statement which I'm making, and you'll all understand how movie business works. And I hope these movie pundits who are there, they understand, because we as audience can actually understand why this movie is not working now. But I'll be very frank with you, I think they'll do very good business in Saturday Sunday. This Saturday Sunday, Fighter is going to do very good business. But you have to analyze the figures. I'm actually a data analyst, so I can actually understand how the whole thing is working. Okay, so the first thing, what is the first thing which is impacting Fighter right now? The first thing which is impacting Fighter right now is the 5-day work week which has been implemented by all organizations in India. All major organizations have informed their employees, essentially in the IT sector or the BPO sector, which forms one of the most important uh, segments of the audience when it comes to movies. They have all been informed that you have to come to office for 5 days. You have to work for the prescribed standard hours at your office location. That has massively impacted the business of this movie. I'll tell you how and why. During this time, probably last year, Pathan was released, right? And it made incredible business. Now, you might be saying, yeah, it was the same thing. No, it was not the same thing. At that point of time, this policy, this 5-day work week policy, was not implemented so stringently at that point of time. It was usually a 2-day or a 3-day work week, leaving you at least 4 days, which you could space out, 4 to 5 days, which you could space out for your entertainment, for your fun, for your thing. And I'll tell you, when you're working from home, there are a lot of employees who go ahead and really don't work diligently towards the organization. So, the 2 to 3 days extra they used to get during the weekdays, they used to catch a movie. And Pathan was such a big thing at that point of time, and people were sick and tired of this boycott brigade. They really wanted to watch a good movie in a hall. They wanted to watch action, and Shah Rukh Khan was returning after such a long time in an action hero avatar, which was something which he had done, which he hadn't probably touched over a decade. People were interested, people loved it, people enjoyed it, and they did it. They went ahead and kept on watching it over and over again because they had the time to do so. Right now, we don't have the time. Right now, I watched Fighter last weekend, but right now, this weekend, I don't have the time to go ahead and rewatch it again because my work week, it's 5 days. So all the work which is getting accumulated for those 5 days, I have to finish it in the next 2 days, that is Saturday and Sunday, and then somehow try and see if I can get some time to go to the mall or any place and watch a movie, which is an investment of at least 4.5 to 5 hours, to say the least, to plan the whole thing, or more even. Because if you look at the movie watching, then you go to a mall, you eat, then you come back, you are possibly you're occupied for half a day. And when you have a 5 day work week, trust me, it is very difficult to do so. And that is one of the most important phenomenons which has hit fighter right now. This return to office policy has hit fighter the most, because it is at this crucial juncture organizations are rewiring their whole working week philosophy, and now employees, they don't even have a breath to catch. It's 5 days intense work week. Get back to work, get back to what you do best, get back to running the organization, get back to all your targets, everything. If you're asking me, yes, it was challenging last year, but from the beginning of this year, we have realized that every business means business now. It's back to normal, absolute normal right now, what it was before the pre lockdown era. The actual madness has begun now. And coupled with that, there are layoffs, there are a lot of things, so people are scared for their jobs, so they are really working hard. So that is one of the most important aspects which has impacted Fighter, which is essentially a very urban movie. It is not a movie which, you can probably say that it will work in the non-urban centers, but it won't work that well as an urban center. So you will also notice one more phenomena, if people from the Fighter group is watching and you have data analysts there who are looking into the figures, you will notice one more important phenomena, just to prove my words. You will not see much advance booking in Thursday, Friday for Fighter, for Saturday, Sunday. Because by Thursday, the window to book tickets for Saturday and Sunday has already begun. But you will not see that. You will see the ticket sales going up from Saturday onwards. From Saturday morning, people are deciding, okay, now we'll watch Fighter. Now we have to do this. Why is that happening? Why aren't people booking the tickets on Thursday and Friday? And why are they now starting to book the tickets? Because you will see now a massive spike. From Saturday morning, you will see a massive spike in ticket sales for Fighter. Why is that happening? It's happening because Saturday morning, the man wakes up, he talks to his wife, he talks to his kids, he says, okay, fine, this is where it is. What do we do? Okay, we can balance this, we can do this, and we'll go ahead and watch Fighter at this hour. Because he's planning his day. It goes for a teenager also, it goes for anyone. Because they have to plan their day. They need to know exactly how they can watch Fighter. So it's an investment. So this is one of the fundamental reasons which is hitting Fighter. Second is, in the second week, we have got a movie called Argyle, where Henry Cavill is acting, and Henry Cavill is a major draw here in India. And a lot of people are not understanding how the international stars have actually invaded the Indian market. They're as big as the Bollywood stars. We've never watched Henry Cavill as James Bond. We all want him as James Bond, but we are not getting him. What's the best alternative? Watch Argyle. Maybe it's a spoof, it's a comedy, it's it, but we get to see him as the super spy. It has a lot of interest in well meaning people who want to watch Henry Cavill. So, even that movie will impact fighters' business to a certain extent. And there's a third movie which I'm talking about, Hanuman, which is really good, which is amazing, which is a really good superhero movie. And many people are very curious and interested to watch this movie. So even that movie is still running. And there's one thing I have to say, the release of Hanuman was excellent. The Hanuman released at a time which was just before the Republic Day, so they got a free run of 2 weeks leading up to Fighter. I think Fighter should have released at that point of time because it was still the mid month of January where people were still in a holiday mood, people were having some holidays and they were preparing for the next holiday which was coming up during Republic Day. They would have got a better run if they had released on 15. What they did was they kind of made it symbolic. They released it on Republic Day. They got a good opening. They will definitely get a good opening for Republic Day. But what they lost out was 1 week before that. Always remember that if you release a movie to at a particular day, you will get the opening. But if you release it a week before that, it will still get that opening because the word of mouth happens. And in the next Republic Day weekend, Fighter would have done more business. Now what has happened is, when Fighter has released in Republic Day, and people in the next week are completely engaged with their work. So what happens is, you're